And Sean, it's Memorial Day weekend. This is kind of the first checkpoint in the baseball season. The Bombers are 19 games over 500. Do players take note of this as well, or is this just a media thing that we're checking in here?
You know what? I think players look at it a little bit, but I think when you're still not into June yet, it's just going one day at a time. Like, they know they're playing good baseball. The Yankees, they're clicking on so many cylinders right now with the offense, with the bullpen, with the starters. I mean, everybody's playing so well. So I think you just keep going, keep pushing, get a win today and, try to figure it out.
Speaking of playing in good baseball, I know we talk about him every week, but the Yankee captain, Aaron Judge, is taking his game to a new level. Now, he's the first player in MLB history with 12 doubles and 11 home runs in a single month. What are you seeing from this guy right now, and how many records can he set?
It's incredible. It's almost like he's playing on another planet. Seriously, I'm like, this guy's in a totally different league than everybody right now. I mean, the balls that he hit out in San Diego to the second deck on the line, I mean, that one right there was an absolute bullet. And, listen, I saw it last year when I was there. It was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. When Judgy gets locked in and he gets pitches to hit, he doesn't miss them. And not only does he not miss them, that's when he's, doing the damage numbers, the home runs, the doubles, driving in the runs, getting on base. Like I said, I mean, this guy, when Judgy's right, he's the best player in baseball, hands down.
And I love it. He never gets too high, never gets too low. Guy's always right there, a steady force for this team, no matter how he's playing. Anthony Volpe, he's having some success right now. A 19-game hitting streak, longest in the majors. So with Soto, Judge, and Stanton behind him, is leading off for the Yankees right now the best spot in baseball in the lineup?
There's a lot of protection there, Joe. A lot of pitchers want to pitch to Volpe, but listen, at the end of the day, 19 games, that is really hard to do. It's hard to do 10, let alone 19. So to see what Volpe's doing right now and how he's going about it, I mean, he's really, the Yankees are playing great, and they're going like Volpe goes. He's getting on base a lot. He's scoring a lot of runs. And to see that he's going line to line, too, he's just really putting together good at-bats. And you see, hitting curveballs, hitting fastballs, everything. So it's just, it's been great to see Volpe this whole season so far just being so consistent.
The problem is, I don't know how he gets any stolen bases. How do you risk stealing a base when you got that lineup behind you where you're going to get thrown out anywhere? Could impact those speed numbers for him there. Garrett Cole had another successful bullpen this week. When he returns, do you think the Yankees are best suited to go with a six-man rotation?
Boy, that's a question for Booney you're going to have to ask. I mean, that's, the way it's working right now, I mean, obviously, kidding me, you get the greatest pitcher in the world back here soon, and I'm sure G is just really, really, chomping at the bit to get out there and get on the bump. But, I mean, that rotation sets up so well. I mean, you could go six-man, no doubt about it. But I don't know if a guy like Garrett Cole or the guys that are in that rotation that are creatures of habits and the way they do their routines, I don't know if they're going to love that. So I guess, it's a great problem to have if you're Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman when you look at this whole thing, because that just means you have so much depth in your rotation and you have most of these guys pitching like 1 and 2s.
Sean, make this make sense for me, because this week Hal Steinbrenner suggested that the current payroll is unsustainable, but last week he said he wanted to make Juan Soto a Yankee for life. How do those two statements mesh?
Well, you know what, Joe? I think the bottom line is they want Juan Soto. Hal wants Juan Soto, but you can understand what he's saying about, where they are at the luxury tax, just because, they're paying pretty much 100% on the dollar that they make. So if they're signing going $40 million over, they're paying $40 million, right? So I think you can understand that from the business side of it. I don't think it means they're not going to try and bring Juan Soto back. And also, it also means they're going to have some decisions to make, whether, do you bring Verdugo back because you got Dominguez coming up? There's some ways you can save here or there. So I think that's what he was saying more than the fact that they want to bring Juan Soto back.
All right, you touched on it a little bit there with Jason Dominguez. You're going to have to shed the salary somewhere. What impact will the Yankee farm system have, do you think, on their ability to retain Soto?
Well, I think the biggest thing, when you see a guy like Juan Soto, I think we've seen the impact he's had on this lineup and what he means to that lineup. He makes everybody better. So you got to really try to do everything you can to get a chance to sign him. And then, you have some great players there. Seeing Jason Dominguez last year, coming up at the end, he was a guy we put there in the 3-4 hole, and you're like, wow, this guy can flat out hit. He's got big time power. He's a switch hitter, so that's a place right there where you could save money and you're going to get impact too. So, I'm sure they'll get creative. Brian Cashman will get creative on payroll and do everything they can to try and bring Soto back.